What's up, guys? James with Torches and Tactical, and I got a killer one for you. This is the Olight Seeker 4 Pro, the successor to the Seeker 3 Pro, with more power, more responsibilities. Wait, no, hold on, that's Spider-Man. Anyways, it has more of pretty much everything and tries to be the best light it can be for you. But before we get into all this right here, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys that Olight is having the OFan sale right now. And if you go to olightstore.com and enter TSTA10, you can get the Seeker 4 Pro up to 30% off. Now, this is only from 919 to 923. And if you're a returning member, you can get an i1R2 Pro in the new center livery, if you want to call it that. Now, the center livery, it does have kind of a compass design here with OFAN in the center. So letting you know that you guys are at the center of their thoughts and their choices. And if you're new, you can go ahead and get the i3E EOS in either this Olight blue, which I mean to me looks kind of more green, but you can get it in either blue or vibrant orange. So go ahead and click on the link down below, use TSTA10, and you guys can get a killer deal on a killer light. That being said, let's get into the Seeker 4 Pro. Now, the Seeker 4 Pro is an upgrade from the Seeker 3 Pro in the sense that you get an extra 400 lumens, you get more runtime, you get this, that, and the other thing. And let me go ahead and run through all those here real fast with you. So you do start off with a 5 lumen moonlight mode that'll run for 360 hours. That's right, 360 hours. It's 15-day runtime. If you want to bump it up, though, you can go to 50 lumens. That'll run for 60 hours. You can also go to medium, which is 300 lumens and will run for 11 hours, or go up even higher. You can get 1200 lumens out of high. It'll run for 3 hours, but it will step down at about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Or you can go over the whole kit and caboodle, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards, whatever you want to call it. You can get all 4600 lumens, and that's going to give you a 2.5 minute runtime of that 4600 lumens, and it will step down, but it'll ultimately give you a full runtime of 2 hours and 40 minutes. Now, if you think that this is just a bright light or a pretty face, it's got more coming than just that. It does have a max candela rating of 16,895 or 260 meters, has an impact resistance of 1.5 meters, and an IPX8 water resistance rating. And if you want to know those dimensions, you do also get 133 millimeters on length and 35 millimeters diameter at the head. So, I mean, all that in a really, really nice compact package. All these accessories come with it ahead of time. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong right out of the gate. But this does weigh 205 grams, and that is with that included 21700 cell battery. So, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the packaging, find out everything that comes with it. So, I mean, you've seen a Olight box before. You've seen this one as well. No big changes here, but you will see all those specifications and everything on the back. Now we'll flip it over. You see a very, very clear, vivid picture of the Olight Seeker 4 Pro, 260 meters of throw, 4600 lumens. Let's get this out of the way. Now, when you open it up, you will see that it comes with a holster, and this holster has a few smart touches, but we'll get into that here in a second. Additionally, you do have now, if this looks a little belt buckle esque, I promise you it's not. There is a reason for it. This is actually a wall clip for your holster. So you can keep this ready to go, mounted at the ready wherever you might need it, and it's always ready when you are. So you also do get an Olight branded USB-A to USB-C cord, so you can keep this thing topped up. And yes, that's right, USB-C, because this will charge with USB-C. Now, if that sounds a little kind of breaking the mold, so to speak, for Olight, I will get into that again here in just a little bit. Additionally, you do get a couple screws, and that will help you mount this mounting bracket. You get a replacement sticker or adhesive, so you can get this secured as well. Let's get this out of the way. And then you have your safety warnings. Now, I recommend you at least read through this once, but I mean, if you don't want to, just go ahead and toss that out. You also have your user manual. Now, this one I highly do recommend running through at least just once. That's because this is going to tell you how to get the best out of the whole 4600 lumens from the Seeker 4 Pro. And if you so choose, it will run through all the settings, how to get everything charging, and all of that. Now moving on to the actual light, I will tell you now that unfortunately, no, this did not come with the pocket clip already included in the package. And I think that's for good reason. It would hinder your ability to get it mounted inside this holster, but if you decide to wear this in your pocket, you can still order this pocket clip from Olight directly. Now, again, there is a link below, so go ahead and click on that and you can save 10% with TSTA10, and you can order as many pocket clips as you think you might need. And that code will also give you 10% off of everything non-sale or X9R. So we will move on to here. Now I want to show you guys this bezel. This may look very similar to the Seeker 3 Pro with the exclusion of one thing. Now I don't see any proximity sensor here. And frankly, I think that's for the best. I know sometimes proximity sensors can be a little, let's just say, less than perfect. And this doing away with that, I think, is a service to the Seeker 4 Pro. Now, everything else about this, if you've seen the Seeker 3 Pro, this is very, very similar. You do have your listing here, 5700 to 7000 K. That's right. Depending on the brightness setting, this will go up to 7000 K or 7000 Kelvin as far as that temperature. So it starts to get a little bit blue. But again, for throwing that light out there, you really do want a bright white light. So instead of cooling fins, this has kind of cooling recessed ridges. I think it looks really, really cool. You do have that same style indicator here, and we will get into that here in just a second. But moving down, these are the ridges or recesses for the pocket clip. Now, one thing I will say as well, Seeker 4 Pro, it is embossed into the silicone on this grip, and I think it gives a nice discreet look. It makes it so all you see is Olight here, and it doesn't seem like an advertisement just blaring in your face all the time. So on the other side, it says 4600 lumens, 260 meters of throw, just in case you forget your own specifications. And then we'll move down, and it has a really, really, well, here, I'll move in here so you can see this, but it has a really tight machining here on the tail cap. So if you ever need to remove that, which you will need to when you first get the light, because it does ship with this isolator in place. And again, the safety warnings and everything will tell you to make sure that you remove this so it is working. Um, but if you ever have to take that off, you will be appreciative of the fact that it has the knurling there. It gives you a really, really good grip. Now, let's open this back up one more time, and you'll see that 21700 cell, 3.6 volt, and this really does put out the light. So you see, like standard Olight protocol, so to speak, you do have a positive and a negative terminal all the way up here at the top, and that's going to give you the ability to use that magnetic charging. And we'll go ahead and slide this back in place. Those threads, by the way, are square cut, well lubricated, and slide very easily because they are anodized. Now, this is where it gets a little peculiar. If you have seen this before, you may notice that this is a little bit different. On the Seeker 3, you always have the one ring, but this has two. You're probably asking yourself why, and I will get into it here. But first, I'm going to show you guys that while it is out of the holster, yes, you still can use your MCC charger, and that will give you that famed proprietary Olight magnetic charging that everyone knows. However, that second ring, you may want to know what that's all about. And here's what it is. If you look at this holster, you'll see that ring and that center post down here at the base of it. So this has one really, really cool tactic. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the light. And if you turn the light off now, it turns back on with ease. But if you touch it inside this holster, the outer and inner ring are going to make contact, and that will automatically lock your light. So you don't have to worry about your Seeker 4 Pro turning on in your pocket. Now, that's a really cool touch, but even better is when you take it out of the holster, it automatically unlocks. So you're ready to go, and you don't have to worry about this coming on. But when you do want this to turn on, you don't have to worry at all because it's automatically unlocked for you as soon as it's removed from this holster. So another really, really cool feature is that's not the only way to unlock this. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for about 10 seconds and show you that there are two other ways that you can unlock this. So after 10 seconds of non-use and that battery indicator goes away, it will be locked. So there you go. You see just the indicators on this right side. So it's not turning on no matter what I do. Nope, we're screwed, right? No, I'm just kidding. We're not. What you can do is you can rotate this dial 90 degrees, and that unlocks the light. Boom, it works. Now I'm going to go ahead and wait another 10 seconds and show you the very last way to unlock this. And again, it's pretty cool. So we're sitting at about 4, 6 seconds. Let's go ahead and 8. Okay, that's about 10, right? So let's go ahead and press this on. Okay, again, it's locked, but we don't want to rotate the dial. We don't want to have to plug it into the holster. What we can do to unlock this is go ahead and press and hold, and it will unlock and automatically move you into your moonlight mode. So it'll go into that 5 lumen moonlight mode. So if you ever need to, you can turn this on in its lowest mode without having to jump through all the hoops or worrying about what memory it was in or anything like that. So that moonlight mode will automatically unlock the light as well. So let's go ahead and push it back into the holster. And remember how I said that it charges USB, but I didn't show you any USB ports on the actual light. That's because the holster does come with a USB port as well. So this will charge with USB-C. Let me grab the cable that I have over here on the side. Now, this is set up to work for any and all of the Olight USB cables, but this is one that I just have set up so it's always ready to go. So there you go. You can see those battery indicators charging. That top one's flashing, letting you know that it is basically full. However, not completely full. It will turn solid when you need or when you have it set up to uh, charge, and then it is complete. So let's go ahead and get this cord out of the way. And I just showed you those battery indicators here. So I will go ahead and say that on the right-hand side, there is an indicator here letting you know that all these LEDs, these are going to tell you exactly what your battery level is at. So when all 4 of them are full, you're 75% or over. When you see just the bottom 3, it's 50 and 75%, or between 50 and 75%. When just the bottom 2, that means that you are at 25 to 50%. And if that bottom one is green, so there's actually two indicators here in the bottom LED. So if it's green, then you're between 10 and 25%, or if that bottom indicator turns red, then you're under 10% battery, and you need to get to that MCC charger or the USB-C and the holster, any combination thereof. But on the right-hand side, this lets you know that this is set up for brightness. Here, I'll bring this up here so you can see the little sun here. So this lets you know that it is your brightness indicator. And when all 4 of those are illuminated, that means you're over 50%. When you get just the bottom 3, that means you're over 10%. When you have the bottom 2, that means the output is 5% of the max. And when you're at the bottom one, basically it means you're in moonlight mode and you are running at just 5% or less of the max output of that 4600 lumens. So guys, all in, I think this is a really, really nice light. I love the shape and the form factor. I actually owned the Seeker 3 Pro for quite some time. I had the Forest Gradient version, and I will tell you now that I think the silicone grooves are a little less pronounced on the Seeker 4 Pro, and I think it feels better. I think it wears better in the hand. Um, so I will tell you now that the Seeker 4 Pro with 4600 lumens needs a competitor. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare it. And if it needs a comparison, I think a worthy adversary is the Workhos TS22. Now this has a very large single dome emitter, and this is rated at 4500 lumens. So, I mean, you can see a size difference right here, right now, but let's see if that single 4500 lumen emitter can hold its own against the 4 emitters that equals a total of 4600 lumens in the Seeker 4 Pro. Now, I will tell you that Seeker 4 Pro retails for $139.99, and the TS22 comes in at about $40, depending on when and where you get it. So, I mean, this will be a good testament to what it is capable of and how much R&D and time and money goes into the advanced features of the Olight. Now, I will tell you right now that this, as far as advanced UI and features go, this is second to none, especially compared to the Workhos TS22. However, I will tell you that some people don't really care about that. So let's go ahead and take these outside and we will determine if the extra time and money spent on making the most advanced light possible is worth it, or if the 4500 lumens of the TS22 works just fine. So let's get out and do that.
All right, guys. So we are out here with the brand new, the latest, the greatest, the Olight Seeker 4 Pro. Now this is 4600 lumens, and I just pulled it off the holster, so it is currently unlocked. So let's go ahead and just get straight into it. Now this is the lowest setting, and we can press and hold, and it does have a number of different output levels here. And then if we want to go any further than this, we do have to do a double press to go to turbo. Now this is all 4600 lumens from the Seeker 4 Pro from Olight. And we can also do a direct turbo with a double press. And from on or off, we can do a triple press. And this will give you a tactical strobe. Now it isn't controlled via a rear tactical tail switch, but it works pretty well just the same. Now let's go ahead and compare it to the Workos TS22. So we'll go ahead and start in low. Press and hold, go to medium. Press and hold one more time. We're in high. Now this is quite a bit of output, but believe it or not, we can double press. And this is 4500 lumens from the XHP70 in the Workos TS22. And we can do a triple press on this as well. And that will also go to a tactical strobe. So not too far off of the Olight Seeker 4 Pro as far as the user interface. But to compare one more time, I'm just going to do a quick double press to turbo. This is 4600 lumens from the Seeker 4 Pro and 4500 lumens from the Workos TS22. All right, now that we saw what both of these fantastic lights are capable of, time to get back inside.
All right, guys, we went outside and we compared the Olight Seeker 4 Pro to the Workos TS22. Now, I know they're not really in the same category, but I wanted to go ahead and do this comparison because they're equal roughly in output. So real fast, I will show you this right here, and then I will show you this right here. So we have 4500 lumens versus the much more direct hotspot of the Seeker 4 Pro. So you guys are going to have to tell me what you guys thought of how those beam patterns looked outside. But I'll tell you that the single reflector, large dome, this is definitely more of a wall of light. Now, this is no slouch in the flood department, but with those TIR optics on each of the emitters, it definitely throws the light a little more than something like that TS22. So guys, now as far as the user interface goes on the Olight, let's go ahead and roll that dial 90 degrees so we can unlock it. And again, we can press and hold, and that will go to the 5 lumen moonlight mode. And if you press and hold from there, it'll switch to the 50 lumen low mode. Press and hold again, we're at 300 lumens for medium. Press and hold again, we're at 1200 lumens for high. And if you do a double press, that's going to go ahead and give you all 4600 lumens, so quite a bit brighter than high mode. One thing we can do though, let's go ahead and just move over to medium mode right now. Now what you can do also is go ahead and press and hold for 1, 2, 3, and that's not the only trick that this has up its sleeve. What you can do is set up that stepless increase, and that's going to, well, let's go ahead and turn this back on one more time. So what you can do also is rotate that dial to increase the brightness. And there's also one hidden feature. I mean, it's not hidden if you read through all the instructions, but most people don't. So what you can do is while it's on, if you do a double press and hold, there you go. It flashed one time. That means you're currently on a 3-minute timer. So after 3 minutes, this will step down and shut off. If you do another double press and hold, 1, 2, that double press gives you a 9-minute timer. So the magnet in the back can be directed directly at whatever you're working on. And then if you know that you have a very specific amount of time that you're going to be there, you can go ahead and set a timer so it will shut off automatically, just in case you want to keep your flashlight where you're at. So guys, all in, I think the user interface is very intuitive. If any of it does seem a little, I don't want to say convoluted, but if it does seem a little bit on the heavy end as far as how advanced it can be, go ahead and refer to that user manual. And finally, I'm going to tell you guys right now that I'm going to be using the snot out of the Seeker 4 Pro. This is a huge amount of light, especially for something as compact and pocketable as this. It has a lot of advanced features. It has that holster that gives you not only charging, but it also auto locks your light for you. And I think the auto lock is frankly a very intuitive way of getting this done. So tell me down in the comments what you guys think of all of the features of the Olight Seeker 4 Pro. I can't wait to get outside and use this some more. So I'm going to go do that. But before I do, I want to tell you guys again that the Olight store is having their OFAN sale from the 19th to the 23rd. You can get your own Seeker 4 Pro for 30% off, and you can get either an i1R2 Pro or an i3E EOS, depending on whether or not you're a brand new customer or you're an existing customer and returning to pick up some more Olight goodies. But again, make sure you use TSTA10 and you can get 10% off of all your non-sale items, excluding the X9 Armor Marauder. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.